While most people would view a dishwasher's job as menial, Casey saw his role at the restaurant as an opportunity. He chose to be the best dishwasher he could be. When Casey changed jobs at the restaurant to become a line cook, his work ethic followed. He felt obligated to be the best line cook he could be. He took pride in what he did. Around this time, Casey began to see that his life in Connecticut had limited room for growth. He loved being a dad, but his relationship with his girlfriend was falling apart. He felt like he wanted to explore the world a bit more. So, with a promise to continue to be the best dad he could be, Casey moved to New York. He worked as a bike messenger and eventually scored a job as an art studio manager. His goal was to put $100 aside each week so he could spend it to be with his son on the weekends. Casey was the best art studio manager he could be. One after another, Casey embraced opportunities as a way to learn about the world and to better himself. The way Casey Neistat saw his world was an important factor in his success. As new prospects popped up in his path, Casey made a go or no-go decision. He based each opportunity on whether he could advance in life. He loved the feeling and reward of getting ahead. The one thing that eluded Casey was a focus. One day, Casey was visiting his brother Van at his New York apartment. His brother was eager to show off to Casey a new toy he had just picked up. It was a computer that could do something that no other home computer was ever able to do before. It was a brand new, candy blue iMac computer. This computer was a beast because it was the first machine that had enough juice to edit movies. Casey was gobsmacked by Van's purchase. He thought that this technology was the coolest thing ever. He and Van shot a little movie that day and pieced it together. It was exhilarating. Casey's creative juices started to flow. For the first time in his life, Casey saw movie making as a possibility. It was a new opportunity. The potential was massive. Movie making was something Casey loved the second he tried it. He also happened to be a gifted storyteller. In that simple visit with his brother, Casey discovered something with limitless opportunities. There was no way he could understand where movie making could take him. He was inspired, and that was all that mattered. He believed that he could be really good at it, too, so Casey Neistat started calling himself a filmmaker. With his fresh approach, Casey's life began to change. Casey began making movies about anything that inspired him. He started out with little films about his young son. He dreamed up experiments that he could film and turned them into stories. Casey made videos with a small video camera and an iMac, just like his brothers. He maxed out his only credit card he had to buy the computer. He had the tools and the creativity to do anything he dreamed up. He might as well be the best filmmaker he could be. In Casey's case, the law of averages states that the more he wanted to earn credibility for the creative work he was doing, the more creative work he needed to do. He wasn't making movies for customers. He was making movies for himself. It was what he loved to do. It was what he was getting good at. Casey made movie after movie on any topic that grabbed his attention. Each time he made another film, the rewards kept coming. Each film he made for the world to see, the higher his chances of landing something worthwhile. When Casey was in the very early days of his filmmaking aspirations, there was no such thing as YouTube. There was no mass distribution network that made independent films accessible to audiences. Casey made films anyway. Then, in 2003, Casey found himself with a problem. 18 months earlier, he had spent a bunch of his hard-earned money on a brand-new Apple iPod. The iPod was a groundbreaking new device that let him carry 1,000 songs in his pocket. But tragically, the iPod's battery was dead after just 18 months. Casey did what any responsible gadget owner did in the early 2000s. He called